Our entire civilization runs on electricity. It is the lifeblood of the modern world, the fire we stole from the gods. But what if I told you we didn't steal it? We just found it again. What if our ancestors had this power, and someone took it from them? Deep in the shadows of the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, lies a carving that defies history. Mainstream Egyptology calls it a religious symbol, but to a growing number of investigators, it is something else entirely, a schematic, a blueprint for a powerful source of electric light. And it's not alone. Halfway across the ancient world, a 2,000-year-old clay pot known as the Baghdad Battery sits in a museum, a silent witness to a lost age of electricity. This investigation will reveal the evidence that our ancient past was far more illuminated than we are told, and we will expose the conspiracy of why this revolutionary technology was brutally suppressed, plunging the world into 1,000 years of darkness. If you believe history is written by the powerful and the greatest secrets are the ones they try to destroy, subscribe to Echoes from the Past. It's time to turn the lights back on. Our story begins etched into the stone walls of a dark temple in Upper Egypt. This is the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, and on its walls, priests carve the sacred mysteries of their gods. But one set of carvings seems to show not a god, but a technology. It is known today as the Dendera light. Look closely. We see large, clear bulbs, each with a wavy serpent inside, representing a filament. The base of each bulb, where it connects to a power source, is a lotus flower, a perfect representation of a socket. And from that socket, a thick line, a cable, runs to a small box, a power pack, represented by the Jed pillar, the symbol of stability and power. Mainstream Egyptologists will tell you this is a mythological scene, a snake emerging from a lotus flower. But when you place this image next to a diagram of a modern Crookes tube, an early cathode ray tube, the similarity is not just startling, it is exact. It is a schematic hidden in plain sight, a blueprint for a device that could create light from power. Our second exhibit comes from a dusty museum shelf. Discovered outside Baghdad in 1936, it is a simple clay pot no bigger than a man's fist. But inside is a copper cylinder, and inside that, a rod of iron, all held in place by a plug of asphalt. This is the Baghdad Battery. For decades, it was dismissed as an anomaly, perhaps a vessel for storing sacred scrolls. But in the 1970s, researchers filled a replica with a simple electrolyte, grape juice, or vinegar, and it produced a steady electrical current. It worked. 2 artifacts, separated by 1,000 miles and 1,000 years. One, a blueprint for a complex electrical device. The other, a simple, working battery. Separately, they are mysteries. Together, they are evidence. They are the whispers of forgotten science, the last remnants of a time when the pharaohs did not just rule with dogma and gold, but with the fire of electricity itself. To appreciate the significance of this lost electricity, we must ask a very simple question. If you are an ancient Egyptian artist, tasked with painting the intricate, colorful hieroglyphs deep inside a tomb or a pyramid, how do you see what you are doing? The corridors of these structures are often hundreds of feet long, with sharp turns, far from any natural sunlight. The conventional answer is that they use torches or primitive oil lamps. But this answer creates an immediate and unsolvable problem. Soot, any flame-based light source, especially in an unventilated space, would have coated the ceilings and walls in a thick layer of black soot within minutes. Yet when we examine these ancient masterpieces, the ceilings are pristine, clean. There is no trace of soot anywhere. The official explanation from mainstream archaeology is a fantastically complex system of polished bronze or copper mirrors used to reflect sunlight down a winding labyrinth of corridors. It is an explanation that is not only logistically improbable, but one that has never been successfully replicated on a large scale. But there is a much simpler theory, a much more elegant solution to the problem of the missing soot. The reason there are no burn marks on the ceilings is because the ancient artists had a source of light that produced no flame and no smoke. They had a clean, cool, and reliable source of electric light, a technology that was not only depicted on their own temple walls, but one whose power source had been found, waiting silently in the sands of time. If this electrical knowledge existed, why did it vanish? Why was the world plunged into 1,000 years of technological darkness? The answer is simple and brutal. This knowledge wasn't lost. It was suppressed. It was a threat to those who built their power on controlling the narrative, and it had to be destroyed. Our first culprit, the powerful and secretive Egyptian priesthood. Their authority came from their role as the sole intermediaries between the gods and the people. Their power was rooted in mystery, in rituals performed in the sacred darkness of the temples. A technology that could create light from a glass bulb, that could plate gold onto lesser metals with an invisible force, was not just a tool. It was magic, and magic in the hands of the common man is a threat to any priesthood. It was a secret to be hoarded, a power to be used to awe and control the masses, never to be shared. Our second culprit, the Roman Empire. When Rome conquered Egypt in 30 BC, they were masters of brute engineering, of aqueducts and legions, but they were deeply suspicious of the esoteric, mystical science of the Egyptians. To the pragmatic Roman mind, this divine technology was foreign magic, a potential source of rebellion and dissent. Rather than understand and adopt it, their priority was to subdue it. To break the power of the Egyptian priests, they would have dismantled their tools of power, including their electrical secrets. And the final blow came from a new faith rising from the ashes of the Roman Empire, Christianity. In its quest to dominate the spiritual world, the early church waged a relentless war on paganism. The temples of the old gods were closed, their libraries burned, their knowledge condemned as demonic and heretical. Any technology associated with the magic of the Egyptian gods, any light that did not come directly from God, would have been seen as a satanic perversion. In their zeal to erase the old world, they literally turned out the lights, ensuring that the fire of ancient electricity was extinguished for over 1,500 years. This war against knowledge did not end with the fall of Rome. The pattern echoes through the centuries. Whenever a brilliant mind gets too close to this forbidden truth, they are met with resistance, ridicule, and ruin. The story of the great inventor Nikola Tesla is a chilling modern parallel. Tesla dreamed of a world powered by free, wireless energy, broadcast through the air for all to use. His Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island was to be the first step towards this utopia. But his vision threatened the titans of industry, the men who were building their empires by putting a meter on every watt of power, by selling the oil and copper needed to transmit it. And so his funding was cut. His character was assassinated in the press. His great tower was torn down for scrap, and his dream of free energy for the world died with it. It is the same story, replayed with different actors on a different stage. A brilliant mind discovers a technology that could liberate humanity, and a powerful elite whose wealth and control depend on scarcity steps in to suppress it. They ensure that energy is not a universal right, but a commodity to be bought and sold. Is it merely a coincidence? Or is there a continuous, secret war against this kind of knowledge, waged for thousands of years? Did the same force of control, the same impulse to hoard power that plunged the ancient world into darkness, simply change its mask over the centuries? The suppression of ancient electricity and the suppression of modern, free energy may not be two separate stories. They may be two battles in the same, long war for our future. Some secrets are not meant to be kept. Some lights are not meant to be extinguished. The evidence is there, carved in stone and buried in sand, for anyone who dares to look. The past is never dead. It isn't even past. And its forgotten technologies cast a long shadow over our own time, forcing us to ask the unspoken question, what else are they hidden from us? For more investigations into the knowledge they tried to erase, subscribe to Echoes from the Past and join the search for the truth.